Hello and welcome. My name is Miriam and I will guide you today through a short yin yoga sequence where we are focusing on the liver meridian. And as the liver works together and is paired with the gallbladder, we also do some stretches for our gallbladder meridian line. The liver is not only responsible for detoxification and smooth flow of qi, it also plays an important part in regulating and balancing our emotions associated with anger, frustration, impatience, also stress, irritation, insomnia, if you can't sleep so well, if you wake up often at night at certain hours. So the postures we do today really help to nourish the energy system that is supporting the liver function, so that you are able to calm down, that you feel more balanced, that you feel more clear in your mind, not so irritated, that the mind is not so flaky, and that you can make good decisions again. So before we start stretching and going into the postures, I want to show you where the meridian lines are running along. So the liver meridian, which is our yin meridian, starts here on the top of the big toes, running up here, the top of the foot, crossing the inner ankle, going up here, the inside of the lower leg, inside of the knee, inner thigh, until it reaches the pubic area, and then it is circulating around the external genitals, entering here the lower abdomen, going up the side of the abdomen, side of the rib cage, to the lower part of the chest, where it connects with the liver and the gallbladder. Our yang meridian, the gallbladder, starts on the outer corner here of the eyes, going behind the ears, going up and down here the side of the head, going down the side of the neck, here into the armpit, side of the rib cage, side of the waist, side of the hip, side of the outer thigh, outer knee, side of the leg, so all the side of the body. And then it's coming back to the top of the foot and is ending here in the fourth toe. In yin yoga, if you have never done yin yoga before, we are holding postures longer periods of time with the muscles disengaged, as we want to target the deeper, denser tissues of the body. So this is more the yoga, not so much for the muscles. We are not doing any muscle strengthening. This is yoga for the joints and for the deep connective tissue. For the practice today, you just need one small towel and a blanket. We start a little bit with a movement to lubricate our hip joints. So just lie down. You can use your blanket here as a pillow. Hug your knees into your chest. And then take your hands, so the hands are cupping your knees, big toes touching. Keep your shoulders relaxed. And then from here, you open your legs, you push your knees and thighs away. So big toes remain touching all the time. And you make a circle movement here with your hips. Just very gentle, keep the shoulders, the elbows relaxed. I use this time now in the beginning of the practice to connect to your body and your breath, to slowly wind down and to bring the awareness more into your body. Change direction. And just listen to the sound of your breath. Feel into the hip joints, into your groins. Okay, then from here you place the feet on the ground. So we're coming into our first yin pose today, which is half happy baby position or half stirrup. So you bring the sole of the right foot up facing to the sky, and then you can lift head and shoulders so you can reach your foot here. So ankle is just roughly here above the knee, and we will use a little bit of arm strength here, to pull the foot down so the knee and the thigh is coming closer down towards the floor. So you try to relax the muscles here in your hips, in your legs completely as much as you can, but you apply a little bit of young energy as you pull here on your foot to feel the stretch in the target area, your groin and inner thigh, where the liver meridian is running along. So we will stay here for 2 minutes in this pose. Let's say this is very challenging for you and you cannot reach your foot. You could use your little towel around here, your foot, and just hold both ends of the towel like this. You can keep the left leg bent on the floor, or you can extend the left leg along the floor, whatever feels comfortable for you. So we are basically in a kind of an upside down lunge here. And with an exhale, allow the shoulders to relax into the ground. If you have the feeling you fall over to the right side too much, then take your left hand to just gently pin your hip down. If you like, you can close your eyes. In Yin Yoga, we want to stress our joints. We're not really stretching our joints. We just want to prevent that they go into a state of contraction. And we also want to increase and improve the fluid flow in our joints and in our deep connective tissues. And as we increase the fluid flow in our deep connective tissues in the fascia, where the meridians, our energy lines, are embedded, we also mobilize the chi flow in our body. Last 30 seconds here. Once you're in a pose, you just find a workable edge. You want to feel the sensations in the target area, and then we're holding for time. Last few breaths on this side. And then slowly, slowly release your foot down. Notice the sensations, how it feels like when you come out of the pose. Bend your left leg, and we repeat on the other side. So now you hug your left knee in. You can lift head and shoulders, but then rest back down so that your head and your shoulders are completely relaxed. And then you hold here through the heel, inner edge of the foot, or again you can use here your towel. So open the knee a little bit wider than your body so you have room for the knee and the thigh to come closer here towards the floor. You also could hold the outer edge of the foot, it doesn't really matter. But you can pull a little bit on the foot to increase the stretch here in the groin area and inner thigh area. If you like, you can stretch out here your right leg along the floor. Smooth, calm, deep breath. Anytime the sensations are transitioning in something painful, pinching sensation or burning, electrical kind of sensation, now this is a sign you have gone too far. Then back off or even come out of the pose. I just give you a time frame. If that doesn't work for you, if it's too long, feel free to come out earlier of the pose, okay? Allowing this to marinate for another 30 seconds. Bringing your awareness to your inner thigh and your groin. Allow the belly to be soft, moving with your breath. And then slowly release, stretch your leg out. If you need to shake your legs a little bit, that's okay. Or just resting here for a few breaths. before we go into our next pose. Maybe you can feel a warm sensation now in your hips, a tingling, twitching. This might be the energy flow, the chi flow you recognize, can feel. Okay, from here, if here the blanket is disturbing you a little bit underneath the back of the head, I would recommend that you just take it away. So from here we want to come into a side bend. We want to open the side of the body to target our gallbladder meridian line. So this pose we're going into is called banana pose because we're entering the shape of a ripe banana or like a half moon shape, if you want to say it like this. So you take your arms over your head, you take your legs together, and then you start to walk your legs. Now you keep your hip down, your left hip, but you start to walk your legs towards the right side, and then you lift head and shoulders and you bend your torso to the right side as well. So you create this half moon shape with your body. So if you wish to, you can just rest your arms, or you can here take your wrist, left wrist with your right hand, and even pull on your arm if that feels good, to increase the stretch here through the left side of the body. So we will be here for 3 minutes in this pose. So see how that feels for your lower back. You don't want to feel any pinching sensation in your lower back. If this is the case, then back off a little bit. Don't go so deep into the lateral flexion of the spine. So you want to feel this here through the side of the body, maybe here the side of the armpit, here your side of the ribcage, intercostal muscles, tissues, the waist, outer hip, outer thigh. And what you feel doesn't have to be 100, 120%. 50% is also okay, 50, 60%. So you can stay with your feet like this, or you can try to cross left ankle on top of the right, or maybe the other way around. Just see where you feel comfortable in your lower back and where you feel a good stretch here, opening through the left side of your body. Yeah, we all have a different bone structure, so don't strain your body. Be where you can. Just find a workable edge for your bone structure. We don't want to push boundaries in yin yoga. Yeah, we just want to find a workable edge. And then also here with the time, we're investigating, lingering here in this postures in combination with our slow, calm, deep, and rhythmic breath. We help our nervous system to slowly wind down. So we can stop fighting the inner war and just allow the opening to happen. Anytime if you start to feel a tingling or numbness in your arms, that might be because your shoulders are quite stiff, that's normal, or if your arm gets completely numb, you may be compressing a nerve, then I would recommend that you just maybe take your hands down, hands on the rib cage. If you're comfortable with the arms over your head, stay here for another 30 seconds, you just be here, and just send your breath into the left side of your spine, to the left side of your body. Deep breath in and long breaths out. Okay, now slowly make your way back to center. Just be here, rest here with the arms down if you like, just for a few breaths before we entering the other side. And we will have a proper rest after that, a rebound. Okay, and then take your arms again over your head, and this time we walk our legs all the way over to the left side, and we are bending our torso to the left side as well. So you are creating this
nice banana shape with your body. And again, we will linger here for 3 minutes. Again, make a decision if you maybe want to cross your ankles, right over left or left over right. See what feels doable, what feels good for your body. So always listen to your body. It's your yoga practice. Might be completely different what you feel in your body than what I feel. You can also take here with the left hand your right wrist, maybe pull a little bit more on your arm to feel more opening through the side of the rib cage. Now the liver is in charge for blood circulation and detoxification. So if you have a very late supper and overeat, so you feel quite full and bloated, have quite a lot of oily food, alcohol, you really stress your liver and you might have a sleepless night. Because the liver works best at night as we are lying down, as all the blood flows into the liver. So the best time the liver works is from 1 to 3 a.m. So if you find yourself waking up very often at that time, then your liver might be overwhelmed with detoxifying all the chemicals, alcohol, drugs, also unhealthy food. So your liver can overwhelm your spleen, and this can progress into a spleen qi deficiency. So it's better to not eat so late actually, and just go a little bit hungry to bed instead of being too full. And send your breath now into the right side of your body. As minutes are passing, if you wish to, you can go deeper, or maybe back off a little bit if it feels too much. Last 5 long deep breaths. And then slowly make your way back to center. Take your arms down. And we're just resting here for our rebound. Close your eyes. Allow your body to settle into stillness. Don't think so much. Just feel. Use this time to reflect. Ask yourself, are you able to let go a little bit more? And then from here, hug your knees into your chest. Roll to one side, and with the help of the hand, you come back up to sitting. So from here, I would recommend you take your blanket. So we will use the blanket underneath our knees to have some padding. So open your blanket wide, like this, and fold it like this. So I'll show you from the front and from the side. We will come into a pose called frog pose to stretch again the inner thighs and the groins where the liver meridian is running along. So you take here your knees on the blanket and you slide your knees as much apart as you can. So the feet, you flex your feet, the inner edges of the feet to begin with, just resting on the floor, and then come down onto your forearms. So you can change here the angle of your feet as you bring them maybe a bit the heels closer together, or you open your feet more. That's totally up to you. If it feels uncomfortable for your feet flexed, then you also can point your feet. It's just decoration back basically.
Also the pelvis, play around as you move your pelvis back and forward and see where do you get the best stretch through your inner thigh and groin here. I also show you from the side. So it looks like this. Slide the knees out. So see how does this feels for you. Most people, when you come forward with the pelvis, then you might feel less stretch, but could be also different, just for most people, from my experience. So when you move your hips back, then you might feel a bit of a deeper stretch here in your groin area. That's where we want to feel this, okay? Again, you can change your feet. Then also you can come up higher if that feels good for you. Or you can just completely rest all the way down. Rest the forehead here on the back of your hands. So if you in this position feel a pinching sensation here on your outer hip, then you are in compression where the bones hitting each other. So then back off a little bit. We are not really looking for too much compression. We want to feel this dull, achy stretch sensation here in the tissues. And we want to keep the muscles disengaged and relaxed, to keep the joints open, to improve the fluid flow in our joints, to stress the joints, healthy stress for the joints. And then we will be here in total for about 3 minutes. So I mentioned that the liver is responsible for detoxification and blood circulations, but it's actually more connected to our emotional well-being. So emotions like anger, especially anger, frustration, irritation, negative emotions and thoughts, impatience, they're all harming the liver. So most liver problems are actually related to emotional problems. Maybe your lifestyle, stress at work, or if you often quite irritated, if you have a very flaky mind, if it's difficult for you to make decisions, if your mind feels very scattered, you're all over the place, you act like childish, you're very stressed. This is all creating an imbalance in your liver meridian. Go a little bit more with each exhale. So surrendering and melting into this shape. Now slowly come back up onto your hands. Move your hips slightly forward with a lot of care. We want to come out of this pose. Bring your knees together. And then slowly descend your hips back. And rest in child pose. Knees can be together or feel a pinching sensation in front of the hips, maybe opening the knees. You can stretch your arms to the front or make a pillow with your hands, whatever feels comfortable. If child's pose is not a resting position for you and you feel it just uncomfortable in your knees and your ankles, know that you also can just rest lying down on your belly. So use this time here as you're resting to allowing the ligaments and the tendons, all these deep, dense connective tissues, to unwind. They have less blood supply than the muscles, so they need a little bit more time. So again, becoming really aware of the sensations that you feel right now in your hips, through your inner thighs. Then slowly find your way back up. and we come up to sitting. So you can fold your blanket to sit on it if you need so, especially if it's difficult for you to sit upright. And then stretch your legs out to the front. If it's very easy for you to sit upright and you're not slouching, then you also can take the blanket to the side. It's up to you, okay? What you can do, you can roll up your little towel. You might use it later for some of you if you need to. So we want to come into a cross-legged position for square pose to stretch our outer hips here. So again, to target the gallbladder meridian line. So we want to have the right leg in front, so we need to bend the left leg in first. So you take here the ankle directly underneath the knee, and then you don't change this leg and just bend the other leg. So you want to have a little bit of space here between your pubic bone and your legs, because we will come into a forward fold, and if you have the legs too close to you, then you might not feel a stretch and just create a lot of pressure on your ankles. So keep your feet flexed, and just maybe take here a little bit of a support here underneath your ankles to release the pressure when we come into the forward fold. Or if you need some support here underneath your feet, because I know for some people it feels a little bit uncomfortable, you can also take the blanket here underneath your feet. And then from here we will come into a forward fold. So just take the hands here on the ground. So just start somewhere where it's easy for you, okay? You always can go deeper into the position once the minutes are passing. Maybe after a while, you can go a bit deeper. So we will be here for 3 minutes. You can also just drop the head down if that feels nice. So you want to be somewhere where you feel a stretch here on your buttocks, your outer buttocks, the gluteal area, where the gallbladder meridian line is running along. Make sure you don't have any pain in your knees. Maybe if the head is heavy today, you just rest here, the head into your hands. If you're quite tight on your lower back, you might feel a stretch there as well. You also can crawl the fingers further forward, come down a little bit deeper if you wish to. And when your liver is happy and balanced, then you can make good decisions. You feel very calm and clear in your mind, and you're very adaptable to change. You're flexible and you feel quite strong, like a leader. You don't feel so irritated, not so flaky. So we all want to have a happy liver. So take care of your liver. And remember to calm your mind, to avoid anger, especially anger, frustration, impatience. And also maybe not eating at late night so much. Not so much oily food. Alcohol is also not so good for the liver. Any kind of chemicals, drugs, because the liver has to detoxify and process all these chemicals. Last few breaths here. Now from here, before we come out, walk your hands to the right side. Have the hand here in line with the hip. And from here, open into a side bend. So shoulder away from the ear, your elbow can be bent. Make sure you have the hand not too close. And from here, reach the arm just for a few breaths over your head. Reach out through your fingers. Spin your chest towards the sky. Keep both sit bones, especially this left sit bone, grounded. And feel the release through your side body. Inhale, coming up. And exhale, twisting to the left side. Use your hand here as a lever on the outer thigh, fingertips here behind your pelvis on the floor. Inhale, lengthen your spine, and exhale, twist from the center of your body, massaging a little bit your internal organs. Look back to the wall behind you over your left shoulder. And then inhale, lengthen your spine one more time. Exhale, turn your head back to the front. Come back to center. So from here, open your feet. Before we do the other side, just lean back into your hands. Drop the knees here from side to side, so feet a little bit wider than mat width, just to release through your hips. You can then stretch your legs out to the front. This time we want to have the left leg in front, so we need to bend the right leg first. So again, the ankle is underneath the back of the knee. And you bend the other leg in, flex your feet. You can have the blanket or you roll up your little towel. There's some support here. And then inhale, you take a deep breath in, and exhale, you wind down into your forward fold. Again, be somewhere where you feel the sensations on your outer thighs. With each exhale, unburdening yourself from tension. Allowing the pose and gravity to do the work here for you. Allow the opening to happen, not resisting, just letting go. Deep inhales, and long breaths out. Keep your jaw unhinged and your face soft. Last 30 seconds here. Allowing the mind to calm down with each breath out. And then slowly walk your hands over towards the left side. The hand here in line with the hip, fingers facing away from you. And then just open up into a side bend. Sit bones grounding down, especially your right sit bone. shoulder here, left shoulder away from the ear. Reach out through your fingers, bringing the bicep closer towards your face. Opening the chest up towards the sky. And then inhale, coming up. Exhale, twisting to the opposite side. And when you twist, you want to drive your spine long from the tail to the crown. And then twisting here from the center, your thoracic spine, your head, your neck, cervical spine follows. It doesn't have to be the deepest twist, just a gentle twist. And then inhale, crown of the head reaching skywards. Exhale, turn your head forward and the rest of the body. And then again, you can just drop the knees from right to left, keep your chest lifted. You just release through your legs. And for our final rest, we will do a slight opening for our chest. So we did more forward folds. And remember, I mentioned also that the liver meridian is here also running up the side of the abdomen, yeah, into the lower part of the chest. So we want to gently open here our chest area. So what you do, you take your blanket, and you make a roll with your blanket, like this. Place it on your mat. Stretch your legs out. So the blanket will be underneath, not your lower back, your middle back. For the ladies, the bra line. Yeah. So it's basically behind or here underneath your rib cage. So you can use the little towel if you wish to cover your eyes if the room is bright. So you want to feel here the broadening across your chest. You can rest your arms alongside the body with the palms facing up, or if that feels nice and you feel more opening through your chest, you can take your arms over your head if that feels nice. Whatever feels comfortable to you, and just gently close your eyes. And completely let go. With every inhale, create more space in your chest, in your heart area. And as you exhale, let go of all the heaviness, concerns, anger, stress, negative emotions and feelings. And as you inhale, just invite something positive. Think about something positive you want to invite into your life. Use this time to just find back to balance. you really start to deepen your breath, your fingers and your toes. If you like, maybe you stretch your body from the fingertips to the toes, and hugging the knees in, removing here the blanket underneath the back of the head. Just roll to one side, rest here, your head onto the arm. Whenever you're ready, just find your way back up into a seated position. Thank you everyone for joining me today for this yin sequence nourishing the liver and gallbladder meridian lines.